What's up, people? How are you doing? Greeting, fellas. Let's talk. I wanna talk to you guys about the topic. Who can say that? Who can say that they have achieved whatever they have achieved on their own without anyone's support, or you know what I mean? But I believe that in everything we have, there's always people who actually contributed into our lives. So I don't believe that we can achieve anything without anyone's support. You know, whether it could be anything small, but contribution is a contribution no matter what. There's always people who really contribute in our lives no matter what. So these are things we always have to remember and know that success or whatever we may be working towards, we cannot do it on our own, but there's other people who contributed in our lives. So the journey of us making it in life, so I discovered these things recently in my researches, and try to do whatever I always do, you know, and I get to understand that it is really a selfish thing that people thinks that they achieved whatever they have without anybody's support. But if you remember or realize that in life, in every achievement, every success, every little things that we do, there's always somebody who contributed into our lives, and there's always somebody who who told us, or who have maybe seen what we do. And those people, they're the people who actually contributed a lot in our lives. And at some point that we don't realize how much other people advice has really changed our life, because most of the time as a human beings we focus on what's front of us, but we don't think of what it could be, or we don't think of who has maybe have mentioned something that actually pushed you to start thinking of, outside the box. If you look into life right now, there's so much that you really have achieved after certain conversation that you heard with someone. you know it could be maybe a friend who said, yo buddy, look, I think you need to take your career serious into fit. You need to take your fitness career serious, or you need to consider yourself being an actor, or you need to consider yourself being an athlete. And then after you have you heard this type of conversation, or heard this word that really actually impacted you, and that really motivated you into a point that you actually managed to do things that you didn't know that you can do, so most of the times as a human beings, I think it's very important that we stop being selfish and look into how other people contributing in our lives, because so many people who are contributing in your life without you notice, because we just think for ourselves and say, I did it all myself, I did it, I am where I am right now. Nobody really can tell me nothing. But it's not because nobody can tell you nothing. Yes, nobody can tell you nothing, but matter of fact that you cannot do everything on your own. It could be a company. There is people who work with you, people who are making things happen behind the scene. Could be a friend who told you about something, could be somebody who introduced you to someone, someone who knows someone, and somebody that knew somebody, and somebody that knew someone, someone that helped you. You understand? So in that case, you didn't do it alone. Yes, you might think you know, you might think you have done it all on your own. You might think you are this smart. Yes, you are brilliant, you're smart, you are very intelligent, you are this kind of a person who think always really outgoing, a person who always go getter, I can put in that word. But you had motivation from maybe a stranger person, somebody who you just bumped into, who just admiring your confidence and how you talk and how you do everything, and say, yo, you better really take serious in your career, you better take serious in every this and that, because what you're doing right now, and I see there's a this and that. So those are the things that always really make us becoming the person or the people that we never thought we are, after we hear the comments or the, the things that people see within us, because most of the time we try to really, you know think that people this and that, people always trying to take from us. Yes, I understand, but what I'm trying to get you guys to understand from this topic is that most of the time there is always a little advice that lead us into a wake up call that reminds us for something, that always pushes us to go and do something that we didn't really see in ourselves. For example, I myself, yo, look at your body, buddy. You really need to get into gym. You need to pay attention to your health life. When I say these words, at some point you might remember some few days ago, you're maybe going through a lot. You're looking yourself in the mirror. You are thinking about this and that. I think I should, really pay attention to my health. But when I mention this, is become a wake up call that really actually pushes you and starting saying to yourself, I think I should do it. And then when you start doing it, you start believing in yourself. At some point, you have maybe start doing it for a wrong reason, but at the end of the day, you start doing it in a way that it become a passion, because of the results that you're seeing when you look in the mirror. The person you saw a while ago and the person you're seeing now has become a different person. So, to be honest, let's always encourage each and everyone and good things. I always say, when I'm sure you know my platform here, my YouTube, I always talk about homeless people. I always post to homeless people, help homeless people to get off the streets. So I always say, it costs us nothing, even if you don't have a money or food to give to these people. For example, if you come across to a homeless person, it costs you nothing to just say, good afternoon, ma'am, good morning, good afternoon. Just greet somebody. When you say that, you actually really helping a person, even if they were going through a lot, even if they were thinking about suicide or whatever it could be. You actually reminded them that they are valid, they are loved. There's a people who care about them out there, and there's a people who see the value in them. So when we say this, we actually making people remember who they are, and we becoming reminder to them that they are human beings, they are loved, they are people who see a potential in them. So it is really important that we remember that in everything in life there's always somebody who contributes in our life, and let's try and always be someone who really reminds someone for the good things, not being becoming somebody who remind people for the bad things. For example, I always say, when, like, I remember when I started doing fitness, I was very skinny. I always want to become this big and all that. But over time, I realize how fitness has become is something that I couldn't live without. Even now, spending a day without going to a gym has become something I feel really bad. Like, I think about it over, I think about it more than I think about even socialize with the people, most of the time I think about I should go to gym. And I remember back in days, it used to be thinking about when I get big, or maybe you want to meet people, whatever it is there. But as for me, it has become something that I remember it is, it's something that contributed into my life, something that has changed me in a way that in a moment, there's a moments that I felt like I was losing, I felt like I was lost, but fitness became something that really changed my life in a way that even when I was going through, could be trauma, could be anxiety, fitness was one of the things that was there for me, that really reminded me, made me remember who I was. And to a point, even now, I mean, I've really have done a lot through fitness, to a point that I met a lot of people, people who I just wanted you to, as this is my book, I recently published this book, The Journey of the Global Change Maker. You can find this book on all platform, on Amazon, on any other so any other media platform where you may wish to read this book, or you can use my ISBN number, this one here. You can use this number to search for this book. You can be able to find this book and search it online or anywhere you are able to purchase the book. And with this number, with this book, I can tell you that you learn a lot about me, about my gen, about what I went through, what I have overcome, and things that I really achieved through this, through in I mean through fitness, through other people who believe, the people who see potential in me. And so many times I felt like I was alone back then, but because of there's a people who really saw the potential in me. Not to forget, when I really went through family issues, whereby my cousins, the people that I was living with, and they really didn't really wanted anything to do with me back then. And then by that time, I remember when I really started to believe in myself, started to work towards my dream, my career, things that I wanted to achieve. I mean, I've get to a point where I actually even met people that I never thought I could meet. And not to forget that I've met somebody who really actually helped me in my education, people who supported, who have paid for my education without me knowing, but those are people who saw potential in me and they believed in me. They wanted to see me achieve. They wanted to see me progresses. They wanted to see me going far. They wanted to see me making a difference, because those are the people who saw potential in me, even though I didn't see the potential. Um, these people right now is people that I respect, people that I look up to, and when I look up to these people, I really feel blessed, because those are the people I know that they means a lot to me. Is the people who have really made a wake up call to my life, that remembered who I was. And you know it's not an easy thing to be able to reach to a point where I managed to publish the book. For it's really takes a lot to be that dedicated and focused, to believe in yourself, to always knowing that you're working on something that can really change your life. You're doing something that can really bring this, kind of person. And for that being said, that really, really changed my life into a point that right now I I just want to make a difference in other people's life. That's why I've started to work with the community. That's why I do this youth development and stuff like that. Not to forget, I have an event coming up in Kimberley, June 7th. I'll be in Kimberley, where I'll be sharing with the youth of Kimberley, engaging to engaging in a powerful conversation, sharing very serious topics where we talk about personal growth, time management, financial literacy. We talk about even how to networking, how to upskill yourself, and how you can network with the people in the industry that you desire to be in. And I will be able to share about my book, The Journey of a Global Change Maker, where I come from, how I overcome, and how I become the person I am. So these are the things that I'll be talking about. I'll be sharing with you guys. If you will be able to watch, I'll be live on YouTube, I'll be live on my TikTok, I'll be live on my Instagram, I'll be live on my Facebook on this day. June 7th will be in Kimberley, and June 27th I'll be in Cape Town where we'll be sharing. So it is very important that you guys come along and be with me. Let's share and let's talk about life itself, where you can learn from me and other motivational speakers that will be available on the day. It is very important that we learn about these things, because in life, and especially right now, if you don't have the community that supports you, it's really tough. But what I want you to know, in this book there is strong message that I believe you can learn from it, and there's a lot that you can be able to use as a keys, tools that can change your life. These are things that worked for me, that helped me to be where I am right now. It was, knowing that, where I came from, and what I thought I could do when I came here, and what I went through, and things that I realized, over after, what I first when I came here. It's opposite, because in life nobody really know what you want to do until you face the reality. For instance, I remember back then when I was, in the village, and always dream about being in a big city and all that, and trying to do things, but not really knowing how I could do. But at some point, you just realize how much you could really change your life because of people that we meet, people who sees the potential in us, people who believe in us and all that. So with this book is dedicated to my mom, and which is, I believe that this book is really huge dedication to my mom, is to honor her for her hard work, and on all that she sacrificed to raise a change maker, which I believe that to those who were told it is impossible to achieve their dreams, to remind them that anything is possible. So I dare you all that you can do anything in life. Nobody can say nothing to you. Nobody can say you cannot do anything. Just to read for you, just an interest, just for you to hear my prologue, so you can understand more about my story, about this book. If you maybe want to check it out, you can go on Amazon. You can find this book anywhere. Check it out. The link on my social media: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and everyone. You can find this link of this book, or you can use the S ISNBN number that you can use to search online to find this book, or anywhere in social and online you can find the book. If you're in South Africa, the book you are able to get a hard copy, but if you want to read online, you can be able to read the book online if you choose to read online. But if you want the hard copy, I can deliver the book anywhere you are. The book can be delivered to you. Takes about 3 to 5 days for you to receive your copy. So this book is part of my story. It's about my journey, about things that I went through, and how I overcome situation, and how I managed to change my life to be where I am, and the things that I plan to do, and also the motivation behind my journey of helping community such as homeless and all that. And I just want to show you something so you can see that what I'm talking about, it's something that comes from deeply of believing and strong motivation of knowing how it is to come from nothing. And when you try to do something, there's always people who don't really believe in us. But when you start believing in yourself and knowing where you want to go, just to show you a page of me with the homeless people right there. I'm standing in the middle with a vest. This was a day after a gym, after a nice session in a gym. I decided that I want to go and buy food and give it to homeless people and stuff like that. So I chose that I could just go and share my few cents and just buy food for these people and just having a normal conversation. Let's talk about life. Let me just keep them company, just to make them happy and smile. By doing this, I was able to understand and to realize how much that means to them, and that really actually changes their life into a point that when you give even a loaf of a bread with a polon or meat, whatever it is, or drink, we might think that a bread without anything, it's nothing, but to them it means a lot. It's a gold, because they cannot afford it, you know what I mean. So these were one of the things that really mean a lot to me. And when I started doing these things, I've started realizing the power within me, what I could do better and what I could do to change other people's life. So I'm inviting you to my upcoming events. June 7th, I'll be in Kimberley, and June 27th, I'll be in Cape Town. June 27th at Rosebank College in Cape Town. I'll be sharing with the youth, engaging with the whole youth in Cape Town, and we looking forward to share and networking, and also have the mayor of Cape Town. We have sent a proposal, and we look forward that they'll be able to attend, and that their presence will really mean a lot. So I believe that if they are able to attend, even if he himself cannot be able to be there, even his members from his office, if they can come through, it really means a lot, in a way that just sharing and be able to let the students and the youth of Cape Town, hearing from them. And the same as in the city of Kimberley, I've sent the letters to the mayor of Kimberley to invite them. If he can't make it, even his member of his office, they could just pop in and see what we do and see how we can change the world. So I love you all, and I say stay blessed and go and find this book, The Journey of the Global Change Maker. I believe my book can change your life, and you can share with the friends and other people. Let this book become, let this message become a motivation to you. And I know when you read this book, you'll be able to know story behind me, and you'll be able to know everything about me through this book, The Journey of the Global Change Maker, to where I came from, where I am, what things that I've done, where I'm going, what I'm trying to do, what I've done with the homeless people, and my plans for them, and all things that I'm trying to do, things that I went through, my overcoming, how I process everything, and how I was able to change my life, how I was able to, to improve my life from being homeless, to change my life to be where I am, to believe in myself, to be able to work in the office, to do all these things. I mean, I'm not trying to say I'm better than any other people, but just to let you understand the drive behind everything, to a point where you get to realize that when you believe in God, when you believe in yourself, when you know who you are, things that you are able to do, you do things that nobody will really understand when you share your story. So I said, yeah, go and check it out. This book, The Journey of the Global Change Maker, and I believe this book, it's a powerful tool. It's a book that really will help you and change your life and many other people out there. So go and check it out. Let me know what you think, and see y'all. God bless.